All right, it's media day, and I am joined with Gunter head coach Jake Fieszel. Coach, man, has been. I know coaches hate hearing the word dynasty, and I don't want to even really use it. But the last several years, 6 out of 7 years, you found yourself in the title game. You win in three of them. There's a certain expectation now going up there in Gunter. How are you feeling about the way this program is built and the expectations now, especially with your JV guys coming up? Hey, this is what we expect to happen at the end of the season.
Yeah, we have high expectations of our kids, and I think our kids have high expectations of themselves and each other too. So sure, there's a certain standard there that we want to go meet, and as you had said before, we've had teams in the past that I've been the head coach here since 2007, and we've had some great teams leading up to the last 6 or 7 years as well. And I tell our kids all the time, we stand on the shoulders of giants. We built a really solid foundation here and a culture of winning, and that's something that it's not just about the kids. It's not just about the coaches. It's about our administration, our teachers, our parents, our community. There's a lot of buy-in that goes into all that, but ultimately it is the kids and holding themselves accountable and doing the things that it takes. And they're certainly working really hard in off season right now, and hopefully we're going to give ourselves a chance to have another great year.
I like how you say it's up to the kids off season stuff. It's a different deal at Gunter as far as off season workouts. I'm sure you probably point at the history books and say, look, we're playing 2 full seasons here. Unlike some of these other teams, you're thinking, okay, I just got to get through this 3-7 season. No, you have a history of playing 15, 16 games. Does that help the kids take off season workouts even that much more serious? Or is it a different level that you got to train these kids during the off season to make sure they're ready to go 16 games?
Yeah, we've learned quite a bit over the last few years about, obviously everybody knows you got to have a great summer. You got to have your kids in great condition and things like that. But there is a certain way, I think, to attacking your strength and conditioning as far as trying to keep your athletes on the field and having some longevity to the season and keeping them out there. Those are things that we're constantly trying to tweak and look at, just like everybody else is. But keep number one, being able to play that many games and having your kids, especially your younger kids, go through that many practices, that many game plans. That's obviously helpful, and leading up to the next season. But then strength and conditioning wise, always evaluating, and our head strength coach, Daniel Castorina, does a fantastic job of this, always just evaluating, what are the injuries that we're seeing, what are the things that we're seeing come up during football, and always looking to tweak and address those things, not only in our winter and spring conditioning, but then in our summer too. Just trying to keep our kids on the field, keep them healthy, and so you can if you get the opportunity, you can play that 15, 16 game season.
Let's talk about the team a little bit. I know it's super early since we're in early April right now, but you won't have your big time winners like Ethan Sloan and Ashton Bennett if they've moved on and others like that. But talk about who you do have, especially like at least you have some experience behind center with Walker. Yep. You get the defensive newcomer of the year coming back as well, and Colin Peacock. Talk about some of the guys you have coming back that you're pretty excited about.
Yeah, well, you mentioned it. I mean, we've lost some great players, but when you play in the state championship game or able to win the state championship, you're going to lose some great seniors, and that's certainly the case with us. But we've got some good ones coming back. We got some good ones coming up, off of our JV team. So we certainly have enough talent, to make a good run. We got to put it all together. I think that in my mind, great teams are built on playing great defense and having great quarterback play. And you mentioned Walker. He had a great year last year, and I certainly think he's going to have another great year this year. He's involved in track right now. He's involved in baseball. So, he's doing those things and competing at those things at a really, really high level. So, we're excited for him there but he's going to have a great summer, we know, and hopefully go into the fall and be ready to roll. And then, defensively, we got some really good ones coming. We got Carter Layton and Braden Hinton on the defensive line are returning. They're all state level players. You've got 2 new linebackers coming in, but Brooks Bell, he's somebody who played quite a bit in the state championship game, and He's coming back. He's one of the leading tacklers on our team. And of course, you mentioned Colin Peacock too. He the defensive MVP of the state championship game, sophomore last year, and really did a lot of growing up. And I think he's poised to have a big breakout junior year. And Cannon Lindbergh, Kate Dotson at the corners. I mean, those are two guys that I think are about to have a monster year too. So, we've got some really, really good players coming back, and we're also really excited about some of the guys we got coming up too.
When you get into spring practices and also going into the season down in August, what are some of the positions you're going to have eyes on, looking for people to step up that you're going to need somebody to step up to have a successful year?
Yeah, I mean, running back kind of starts right there for us as far as, someone stepping up. Braden Hinton is somebody who's an all-state defensive end for us last year. He's going to fill in some there. And Hayden Farrell, who actually plays the other defensive end or plays a lot of defensive end for us, he's somebody that we feel like can do some of those, take on some of those running back responsibilities as well. And, we've got a lot of guys too that I think are going to compete for a lot of playing time. Jace Martin, we mentioned Colin Peacock be on the defensive side, but him playing a little bit more on the offensive side this next year. Guys, Brock Body, people like that competing for cornerback time. So I could probably name y'all 15 or 20 guys right now that are competing for time, and really and truly, I think they could have some big years. Our problem, or my problem, I guess, and it's a good problem, isn't going to be, how are we going to fill this role? It's going to be who are we going to put there. And, our kids are doing a great job right now of doing what they got to do and getting themselves ready to go have a big year.
That does seem like a good problem. A problem for others, actually a problem maybe for your uniform guys. You might want to put the numbers off the back and put a big target back there instead of the number, because
that's okay.
Everybody's coming. And like most lower classification schools, you're going to have 5 non-district games, and that's probably where you're going to really look for things that you can do to improve for when the postseason happens. I've already talked to our guy, Neil Beasley. He'll be at that week 4 game against Brock. I told him you might want to get there 2 hours early if you want to try to find a parking spot, maybe 3 if you want to grab something at Dairy Queen before you head out there. But
no doubt.
Talk about your non-district schedule, and especially that one, and what you hope to get out of those games to get you better for down the line.
Yeah, so we start off the season with San Antonio Cornerstone here in Gunter, a really strong private school out of San Antonio, and then we play Trinity Christian in Addison, and Walnut Grove, a brand new school, 5A school there in Prosper, and then of course we got Brock and Lakewater. So our non-district schedule is super competitive, very tough. I mean, for me to sit here and say that we don't want to win every game, I mean, that would obviously be a lie. We want to win every single game we play, and we're going to work to do that. But ultimately, out of the preseason, nobody asks how many preseason games you won when you're at the very end of the year. So we're going to try to win them all, but at the same time, we feel like playing games like that, playing competition like that, elite coaching and elite talent, that's going to prepare us, for when we play, hopefully that, 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round, 6th round playoff game. Those are the type of teams that we're trying to play in our pre-district schedule. And, we're going to get an opportunity. We're going to find not only what our strengths are, but we're going to locate some of the weaknesses and some of the things that we got to get better at to give ourselves a chance to win some of those playoff games deep in the year, hopefully. So, going to be a test, but it's also going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you talk about not caring whether you win every game. Well, you pretty much do it anyway, whether you care about it or not. This is the way Gunter's been going. That's what happens. Coach, I appreciate you joining with us. I know it's 4 months away from the season starting, but hey, it's Texas, man. We're never too early to start talking about football.
That's right.
All right, I appreciate it, Coach.
All right, thanks for the time.